Hey fam, I am ready to do a collective reading for you. If you feel called to this message, then tune in, really tune in, see how it feels, see which parts of this find a place to anchor in you. And those are the parts that you'll take with you. You don't even have to worry about taking what works and leaving what doesn't. It's gonna stick where it needs to stick. So you can trust that you can listen, you can relax, and you can take whatever works for you, okay? Let's start by just taking a deep breath together in the nose and out the mouth, and taking that 1 second of time to just tune into your own body, your own breath, your own spirit, and see what comes through for you. Where are you starting today? What questions are you bringing to this reading? Maybe it's something specific, maybe nothing really. Maybe you're just here for something general, and that's okay too. I am what is called a pure channel. I don't have to use cards. I receive direct information from spirit, from passed on loved ones, from archangels, from beings of unconditional love, and that is my criteria. That they have to be beings of unconditional love working on the behalf of spirit, ultimate divinity, love. Okay? So with that said, I am using cards today. I'm using my Fairies Oracle card deck by Doreen Virtue. And most of what I bring through for you is going to be channeled information. The cards are just kind of like a scaffolding that I like to use. Okay. All right. So let's see what this collective needs to hear today. What are we talking about? What are we feeling? Okay. That's really unusual. That romantic partner, your romantic partner does not have to look like this guy. Okay? Doesn't even have to be a guy. It's very unusual that romantic partner would be the first card that I pull. So, and it's so funny because I'm like, for some of my clients, we do get into love readings. Sometimes these readings take, 5 years through the course of a relationship. But I don't typically do love readings in collective readings. So let's see. Let's see what comes through. What do you need to know about this person? The way that you're connecting with this person. Let's see. Okay, so you're going through a journey right now where you're cultivating a sense of safety, a felt safety within yourself. And this is something that you have played around with a lot. The first thing that I'm hearing is that this is something that you tried to place into another person. You actually tried to take your own heart out of your body and place it into another person, and then pour all of your love and all of your goodness and all of your gifts into that person, thinking that if you were doing that well enough, you would receive a certain result. And when that expectation wasn't met, what happened within you was a feeling of not being safe, was a feeling of not being enough, a feeling of not meeting yourself in worthiness in the way that you have an even deeper expectation of being able to experience in this life. Does that make sense? So when we try to take our sense of safety, which is something that we feel in our bodies, right? That's something that is very deeply woven into our bodies through our nervous system. And our nervous system, of course, is this interface between our physical body and the world of energetics, all the worlds that are beyond this world, all the other incarnations, lives, parallel experiences, everything else that we are a part of. And we've got this interface that can help deliver information across that veil, across that barrier, right? So it's like a semi-permeable membrane, if you remember that from high school, or maybe you went to college. I was a nursing school person and a anatomy physiology nerd, so semi-permeable membrane. We've got things that are going both ways, right? We have energies that are coming from beyond the body, and then we've got things that are coming from the body that need to be communicated to the other worlds about our felt experience in this life, in this environment, with the people who are around us. Who are we in relationship to? How does that person make us feel, right? Or how do we feel when we're around that person, if you want to use those terms. So this situation that you're in, this romantic partnership, has been serving a really important purpose, because it's been showing you where you've been taking this sense of safety and setting it outside of yourself. And it's now, right now, it's asking you to bring that back in. It's time for you to put your heart back in your own body. It's time for you to be the one that's in charge of your own space and your own energy. So you might need to learn some tips and tricks and tools to keep your energy in your own energy field and to stop giving it out quite as much. And that doesn't mean don't be compassionate. That doesn't mean don't be kind. That doesn't mean don't share. That doesn't mean don't be gracious. That doesn't mean don't be, what's the word I'm looking for? Generous. It's not to say that you shouldn't have an outflow of your energy. It's just to say that you know what is you and you know what is not. If energy is going out from you and towards someone or something else, you're aware of that. There's no more leaky boundaries going on, right? Maybe that membrane has been too permeable. Maybe too much has been exchanging. And maybe it's been exchanging more one direction than the other. Maybe it's been exchanging in such a way where you're sacrificing or compromising some aspect of what is really true and authentic and divine in you in order to try to create that sense of safety for yourself. And so let's keep that in mind, that this is a noble effort. What you have been trying to do is okay. You've been trying to feel safe. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course you should feel safe. Of course. That's a given, right? That's like a right of being alive in a body. And sometimes we get pretty distanced from that. So then the work becomes, what do I get to learn on the way back to feeling safe? The work isn't even feeling safe. It's not about that end goal. That's not what the work is about. The work is about that process and what we're able to gather and gain and learn as we make our way toward that. Okay, so this is a reading about this relationship, but this is also a reading about how can you exist in this relationship in a way that is going to give you yourself back. So we're not at this point in this reading talking about leaving somebody or staying with somebody or somebody coming back or somebody leaving you or anything like that. We're talking about what the purpose of this is. That's where we're at right now. Okay, let's see what the next card is. Letting go, but it's in reverse. You got to let go, my friend. I understand that that's hard and that you maybe don't even know how to let go. So I'm going to give you a key, okay? Here's the key to letting go. All that you have to do is find your own sense of self again. Because here's what happens. It sounds so simple, and it sounds simple because it literally is actually that simple. It's not maybe going to take like 1 hour, but if your progress is measured by how much of you are every day, how you feel, then you are just naturally letting go of everything else that doesn't align with that. So you make the letting go passive, because of course letting go is passive. If I were to ask you, is letting go something that you do actively or passively? I think the term letting go in and of itself really says, well, this is passive, right? This is me releasing my grasp. But a lot of the time we try to make letting go something that happens actively, and that just, it just doesn't. So in the effort to let go, we're actually holding on more tightly, and that doesn't work. And it's okay, because when we do things that don't work, we get redirected, we get more information, we get these opportunities to course correct, right? So here I am. Hi, I'm here to help you course correct. You need to let go passively, my friend. You need to let go passively, but also on purpose, okay? So your intention is going to shift now. And instead of your intention being something that says that you need to work harder to let go, your intention is going to shift to, how can I feel into myself? How can I make decisions? How can I make choices that protect my energy so that I know what it even actually is? so that I can feel it, so that I can hear this inner voice. Because this inner voice is going to tell me what to do, right? So I need to make sure that I'm making the choices to honor the process of coming back into myself so that I can listen. That's the work that we're doing. That's what your inner talk should sound like right now. I'm echoing you, okay? So let's see what practical tips and tools you can find that can help you do that this week. We're going to go for a 1 week time period on this. We don't want to get too far out because the energetics will change. When you start to do this work and your intention shifts, things change. Things change really quickly. You might notice that some of the things that you've been trying to figure out or some of the things that you've been trying to let go of just move because they literally don't align with your authentic self frequency. When you get back in touch with that, stuff just moves for you. The universe reorganizes around you. I swear, it's absolute magic. Okay. This is a collective reading, so we'll go into a couple different things that this could mean, okay? This is the vacation card. This is talking about taking a break. This is talking about taking space. This is talking about removing yourself from a situation. This is not talking about going on a vacation with the person in question. That is not what this is about, okay? You need to, and if you happen, I'll back up. If you happen to be going on a vacation with the person in question, you need to make sure that you are carving out time for yourself within that, because we're trying to get unmeshed right now. We get enmeshed with people. We don't know what's me and what's them anymore. We're trying to unmesh. I don't know if that's a word. It is right now. I make the rules. Okay. So vacation, you have a deep need that is overflowing, emerging from your soul so much that I'm here speaking it back to you as a mirror. You have a deep need to take a break. And if you're like me, I have 4 kids. I don't like take breaks that are like, I don't know, maybe how people without kids take breaks. It's not like I can just turn everything off. Okay? So I understand that. If you're in any position in your life, whether you have kids or not, where you can't just turn everything off. But you can take a break from the thoughts. You can take a break from the cycles, the patterns of thoughts that are keeping you in a cage. And that's a part of letting go. And if you need to go on a retreat to do that, cool. If you need to not do the dishes for 3 days to do that, cool. If you need to take a couple days off work, great. Whatever you need to do, carve out some space and time for yourself to get back in touch with yourself. If you're like me and that can just be like a bath at 11 p.m. after your kids are finally all in bed, or even sometimes I find that a break or a vacation can just be like a micro thing, like making yourself a cup of tea. Like if I can make myself a cup of tea, the duration of the time that I'm drinking that tea, I have less expectations on myself that I should be doing something else. Like I'm probably not going to be working on anything around my house while I'm sitting with a cup of tea, ideally. So build it in however you can. But if you're a person that has been asking the question, if it's time to take a larger vacation, if it's time to really go, if it's time to go on a retreat, and I'm hearing for some of you too, like artist residencies. If you've been looking for a way to get away, there are paid residencies for artists where you can go take like 3 weeks to just work on some new writing, or even with some of them are so low expectation that it's like you can just go and they just want you to have the time to be re-inspired or to do some healing so that then maybe you can create something later. So check out artist residencies if you're a person who needs a way to travel but you don't have the income for it right now. Check that out. Let's see what else comes through about this connection. I'm feeling like we're getting close to closing this channel up. So let's see. And let me know in the comments too if there's something that you would like me to speak about. I'm not going to answer direct questions in the comments. I do one-to-one readings for that. But if you have some larger type concepts like I want to know more about insecurities, or I want to know more about like how to connect more with my guides or whatever, we'll put all that into the cauldron so that spirit knows what to channel for you too, okay? So leave comments, let me know. Excuse me. And then also, I always do so appreciate any financial contributions to my work. I work very diligently, we'll say. I like to use that word instead of hard. I work very diligently, and I'm very committed to this art and to all of my arts, the music, the book. I have a book coming out called Fearless. You can find the link in my bio. I have so many things going all the time that are, in addition to parenting, that are my way of offering gifts to the world and to you. And if you are able to receive that gift in any way, that makes it worth it to me. So it's really not about you being able to give anything back. I know that you're giving back. I know that you're working now to be in a position where you're able to give back even more, because that is what is attracting you to this channel. That's a part of what we're doing here together, right? We're making ourselves into even more abundant beings, into the people that can hold that abundance. So if you do feel like a part of your abundance journey, or the way that you can express that now is to give something back monetarily, then I really appreciate that. It does fund and support my ability to be able to do this, but no pressure. Woo! This is a welcome card. Moving forward fearlessly. Okay, I made a TikTok video about this recently, and I'm going to say it again here, but longer. Babe, you don't need a sign. You don't need another sign. You need to access your courage. This is literally why I wrote an entire book called Fearless. There is a part of you that exists beyond the fear. There is a part of you that is deeper than any self-doubt that you have. There's a part of you that exists beyond the thoughts, beyond the beliefs about yourself and what's possible for you. This is having the faith of a mustard seed, right? Have you heard that? You just need a little tiny bit. And that tiny bit exists. It's just right under the surface of all the noise and all the chaos. So if you can drop down, if you can drop in to that part of you that exists beyond the fear, then you naturally begin to move forward fearlessly. This is all a really natural process. And I want you to have that and be able to carry that with you. To know that you are right on time. You're not in your hurry. You're not in anybody else's hurry. You're right on time. Everything that you've been through has served a purpose. If it's something that you're going through now that hasn't shifted yet, it's continuing to serve a purpose. If you're ready to shift that and allow the lesson to come through and to move forward with the wisdom and leave the pain behind, then you move forward fearlessly. You don't need another sign. You simply need to access your courage, okay? So how can we access courage? And it brings us back into that part of ourselves that says, well, you need to connect with other people authentically. You need to begin to express yourself authentically. So this channel is for artists, for creators, for creative people, not just people who make art, but for those of us who view our lives as a work of art, right? You can connect with new people that can support and provide for you on this journey in ways that you've never experienced before, that you can't even imagine right now. Download that right now. Because I just felt that energy come in, and I know that in this channel that is open, this is timeless. Download this. You can connect with people that are meant for you. And all you have to do is make the effort. Here's where the effort part comes in. To create the space for you to drop in with yourself authentically, so that you then express authenticity and you magnetize authentic relationships, okay? So this partnership, whatever it is that you're in right now, there's something out of integrity here. There's something that's not working. There's something that's not matching up magnetically. And that is because, and we are brave, right? We can take responsibility. So we're going to talk to ourselves nicely when I say this next thing. That is because you have been out of alignment with yourself. Because if you had been expressing yourself authentically the whole time, this wouldn't have matched up, right? This person is aligning with an aspect of you that is already dead, that you're still carrying. because of protection, because you think you need to, because the beliefs say that that's a part of you, because there's an identity thing here. But you don't have to keep carrying that. And when you choose to be authentic, not only does this person shift in the way that they are in relationship to you into the right position, but you also shift the way that you are in relationship with the world around you, with thought forms, with mental and emotional energy, and with the other people who are coming in right now to support and provide for your journey in ways that you cannot even imagine. Can you feel that? Can you feel that concept anchoring into you? That is a truth. This is what truth feels like. Okay? All right. It's the last card I'm going to pull. Detoxification. You're going to need to go through a period of detox. And I'm not saying like only drink lemon water for 30 days. I'm saying you need to detoxify your environment. You need to detoxify your inner world of old stagnant emotions. You need to be expressing and creating. Now is the time to make art, okay? I don't care what your art is, you need to make it. You need to be detoxing your thoughts. You need to really be checking and seeing, are these thoughts supporting me and where I want to go? Because if not, don't give them any more energy. You are the gardener. You are the garden. You get to do the weeding. You get to decide, okay? If you don't feel comfortable deciding because you're not sure, then you just keep anchoring into what is me? What is me? What is me? What is me? If I make space for myself, if I take that vacation, then I'm going to get more of a sense of what is me, because I'm not right up here next to this other person's energy going, oh, this is too permeable. I don't know. I don't know what's me and what's them anymore. Okay. Detox means many things, but really it means letting go. It means letting go of what is no longer yours to carry. It means letting the dying parts of yourself die. Letting the parts of yourself that you're carrying that are already dead go. And I talk about this in my book. You can set down all this stuff, all these stories, and you can still come back to them whenever you want to. It's not like you set something down and then it doesn't belong to you anymore and you forget about it and you can never access it again. If there's something that happened to you that you're carrying that weight on you all the time, and it really brings you down. It makes you less able to act and to be and to have joy, literally in your physical body and in every other way. But if you set it down and you go, okay, that's over there, I know where it is. Maybe I put it in a journal, maybe I put it in a painting, maybe I just put it in like I'm not going to think about that for 10 minutes. I can go pick it back up whenever I want to, and it's still mine. Okay? You get to tell your stories, and you get to tell them however you want to. And that is probably the most important message that I can share with you, is that you are the creator of your inner world. You are literally your inner voice, and your inner voice creates. It creates. So that's how powerful of a creator you are. I hope that this resonates with you. I hope that you take whatever pieces of this with you that feel authentic to you. And I hope that you continue to magnify and express these messages in the circles that you're in whatever beautiful, unique way you can as well. And if you do feel called to share this video, please do. I think there are more people who are ready for this message too, and these messages. Don't forget to please subscribe to my channel. That helps me immensely to be able to share the wisdom that I have to share. So like and subscribe. Talk to me in the comments. We've got a lot to talk about. So, okay, signing off for now. Mama Rose.